my cards for the putting on the, so I know what dates to check them again. Okay, so tonight we're going to be making, on our final night for having made 7 fermented foods, tonight I'm going to be making ginger kombucha, to have a look at how that's made. It's, for me, it's one of the ways of drinking a probiotic drink. So after last week we did the cafe milk and we did the cafe water the week before. It's a sweet drink, it's a fizzy drink, and if I'm going somewhere then I'll take some kombucha things with me because I'm not a wine drinker anymore. So that's something that I'll take with me, the kombucha, and the family like it as well. It's kind of an easy thing to do. The kombucha is made with tea and sugar, and this time when I'm making it, I'm going to be making it with ginger as well. So it's a bit like a ginger beer. It's a very, I like it quite a strong ginger taste, so I'm going to be putting quite a lot of ginger in there. So the recipe you've got is a recipe that I'm going to be following tonight as well. So what I've done here already is I've already brewed the tea, because you can't put the SCOBY or the mushroom on top of very hot water. Now this is a SCOBY. This is like it's a mixture. Again, it's instead of the beads or the cafe seeds, this is the SCOBY. So this is a mixture of bacteria and yeast, and a lot of people just call this a mushroom. So this will be the mother. This will be the mother that you put in with your kombucha for it to brew, and it brews for 7 to 10 days at room temperature. Much longer than the water kefir. The water kefir normally takes about 3 days for it to be ready before you start seeing the little kefir grains sort of rising and falling. But this just needs to be at room temperature. And this is left over from another brew that I did. So every single time you make a brew, the mother gives off a daughter. I don't know whether you can see that. So you've actually got different layers. That's quite a thing. Mm-hmm. So we put them both in. So when you make your jar of kombucha, it will produce a daughter. The mother always produces a daughter. So then you have 2 SCOBYs. So then you just keep having more and more and more. So they grow, and it takes the sugar, it eats the sugar, so you get a sweet but a fermented sweet drink. So it's not laced with sugar. So what I've got in here is I've got, just as you would brew a tea, so I've got the tea bags in here. I've put 6 or 8 tea bags in here of just black tea, and I've also put the sugar in here as well. Now normally I put just normal white sugar, so that's already in there, that's already melted. So this is the tea and the sugar, 1 cup of sugar already in there. I use white sugar. I've tried making kombucha with other sugars, and it just doesn't work quite as well. So coconut sugar and honey and all those kind of things. It does work, but it creates a very thin daughter, and I don't think it's quite the same. It doesn't have the same fermented or fizziness to it. So this is the way I'm doing it. Now, because one of the tea bags is actually here, I don't think it's going to be that easy to get all the little bits out. So I'm just going to strain it in the hope that I can get rid of it without making too much mess. I'm really not going to get the piece. We have a tea bag right at the bottom. So those tea bags can go straight into my compost pot. That's a broken one. Because we've got tea leaves and things in there, I'm just going to strain it off. We've got 2 smaller jars. Right, get rid of all the tea leaves out of there. So your sweetened tea. Okay. And then the SCOBY goes on top. And what I'm actually going to do, see the SCOBY just normally just floats on the top here. I don't know if you can see that. It floats on the top. And I'm just going to peel and touch some ginger so that this one will actually be flavoured ginger style. Because that's a really nice drink for me, which is a ginger kombucha. Just peel a big wedge of ginger. Now you can either grate this or you can cut it up in very small pieces. I certainly find if I grate it or if I chop it up small, so I'm going to put it in my little mixer, and it gets much more ginger flavour. And because I like ginger, that's what I'm going to do. So, taking my ginger. Ginger finely chopped. When you're working with this kind of fermentation process, it's best not to. Well, you don't touch the SCOBY with anything metal. So I've always kind of gone into the fact that you will either have a plastic spatula. Okay, I'm just going to dump that under, and the SCOBY will come back up top again. So over the next few days, the ginger will sink down to the bottom, the SCOBY will come to the top, and it will create a daughter on the top of the mixture. And as usual, I just cover it with a bit of muslin. Make sure that no flies or insects or anything get over in there. And it just goes into my little row of jars. Everything that's fermenting now. Because the kombucha takes 7 to 10 days, I've marked on a little card that I made this on Tuesday the 20th, and then I'll look at it again just before next Tuesday, so that's 7 days. So on the top of there I've got a little card that says next Tuesday the 28th. I made those today. These are more waterproof, and these two kombuchas here I made on Sunday. So I'm just keeping a record of when I need to kind of look at those things again. Just to go through the process in a slightly different way. I've brewed a tea. So in here I've got, it's still warm, it's thyme tea. I've just made a herbal tea. This is another way that I do it. So I make a thyme tea. So I put my sugar in. And I pour over the thyme. It's thyme that you buy, and it's fresh herb thyme. Fill up your jar. Obviously, wait for it to cool down. Wait for the sugar to melt. And then when the sugar's melted and this has cooled down, then I'll put the SCOBY on the top of there, and then I'll cover it over again. That's how easy it is. Like all the menus that I've shown you for the last 6 weeks, they've all been incredibly simple. But I know that before I started making fermented foods, I was really kind of worried about well, how to do them, how to make them, how it was going to work out, if I could make myself ill by eating fermented food. So my intention was, by doing these 6 weeks, was to show you how easy it was to make 6 different fermented foods. And the 6 different fermented foods, they all have different bacteria and yeast in them, which will work just brilliant for your digestive system. Have you got any questions at all?
Yeah, I was wondering about the quantity of water we have in the recipe, because it reads 3.5 quarts water. How much is it in liter?
The way that you can use the way I do it, and it's never failed. I mean, I just use a mason jar, and you can see that this mason jar is bigger. But I still only ever really use one cup of sugar. I'm only using like 1 cup of sugar with that, and then I fill it up with water. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using the same jars. And quarts is an American measurement. But that's the way I'm doing it. I'm thinking this is a litre, so this is like a litre and a half. This one. It works out fine both ways. Very vague answer for you there, Anne, but hopefully that works. You know me in the kitchen, I don't measure anything. But no, I mean, the idea of having a recipe is that you can actually follow some sort of
so can you keep the SCOBY for further or for later on in the refrigerator or in the freezer?
Yeah, not in the freezer because it's a live being, but you can keep it you can put it in the fridge. And so long as it's covered with water, and normally with a little bit of sweet water, so a little bit left over of the fermented drink that you make with a little bit of sugar, you can keep it alive for. I've got some in my fridge, and I've probably had them in there for a month and a half. If you don't take care of them, the water evaporates, obviously, even in the fridge, and then they dry out. So it's something that you just need to just keep checking every now and again. If you're not sure whether you want to make kombucha, but you're interested in just playing with the water kefir because it's quicker, then just go ahead and get yourself some of the kefir grains. But if you're interested in doing the kombucha, then you only need 1 SCOBY, and then every time you make something, it will create another one. And it's a way of experimenting and playing to see what you really, really like. And I discovered that I really like the ginger beer kind of flavour that I was able to get with using kombucha, so that's why I've stuck with that one.
And that replaces your wine?
That replaces my wine. It does. Yeah, ginger beer or water, and it's kind of fizzy and it's kind of sweet, and yeah, that's for me. But it's not a replacement for a red wine or a bitter taste, a dry taste. But this certainly does it for me.
Okay. Yeah, I went through shops tonight and I tried to find kombucha, but I was not successful, so I need to visit some other shops.
Yeah, in your organic shops?
No, I went to the Asians and whatever, foreign shops, Turkish.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any, so I have to find them Chinese.
I've seen it here in France only in the last year. And there's a company that's bottling kombucha. Now, I don't know what they've done to it to make it last longer on the shelf. And when I've drunk it before, it's a very weak, very watery kind of taste. It's not as strong as the ginger beer that I would make at home. So it's available, but I don't know how potent it is. I don't know how potent it would be for probiotic. And this is the whole reason for us making this, is that it's a probiotic drink that you enjoy, and it's a very good way of taking your probiotics.
Mm. I was wondering, do you know any kind of fermented dessert?
Well, you could have a fermented yogurt.
Mm.
Like if you do your milk kefir. I did the after we spoke last week, I did the fermented coconut milk. That's got a kind of fermentedness to it. So that's yogurts you can use for dessert or for breakfast and those kind of things.
Mm.
But I haven't investigated any. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I will place orders for the SCOBY and the kefir grain because next week I will be in France, so I can get it delivered in France.
All right.
Yes.
So you're intending to obviously make some water kefir and make some kombucha, and then if you're away, if you're traveling, you just need to make sure that if you're away for a week or something like that, then you've made it so that you're bottling it before you go, or that you that it's okay for it to sit and wait before you come back.
But when it's delivered, is it delivered in a sealed pack or something?
The water kefir grains, yes, they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that can wait for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that can go in the fridge. That should be fine. Yeah. And the water, because they pack it with some of the moisture that it needs as well, and the SCOBY as well.
Mm. So if I don't open the package, it could wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, because
when you start it off, it might just need a little bit of coaxing. It might just need a bit of warmer temperature or a little bit of extra sugar or something like that, just to get it kind of like out of its hibernation. Because when it's in the fridge, it's obviously kind of a little bit dormant.
Mm. Yeah.
It's when you're making fermented food, it's like you're producing something that's alive. So then you have to be able to care for it as well. So, you've made the sauerkraut, and I think you've made the kimchi as well. So you know yourself that it needs to be kept in particular cupboard or fridge or something like that. So you can't just leave it on a work surface all the time, because it will eventually keep on fermenting. And the same with these. So if you're not ready to do them, if you're not going to be there, then just wait until you are.
Mm.
It's like growing sprouts and things like that. It's like, oh my God, I've got all these sprouts and I'm leaving in a week. And what am I going to do with them? It's like the raw food. You just have to just think a little bit in advance and just say, right, I'm here for a good long stretch. I can take care of, I call it my garden, because it's all stuff that's that's growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't force yourself thinking, oh, I have to make water kefir and I have to sort of, start making this kombucha. If you're not ready, then wait until you are.
Mm.
If you can get basic advice. Are you still taking the taking your kombucha and sauerkraut and kimchi? Are you still making those?
I've been making a break now. I've been forgetting them now.
No.
So
No.
no, not for the last week. So.
But have you still got them in jars? You've still got some left over?
Yeah, I still have some in jar. Yes.
Yeah. So
That's
you
okay.
know it only takes 4 days or something like that to make something. I also myself kind of like, oh crumbs, I'm on my last jar of sauerkraut. I need to make some more, So then I know, well, it's okay. It'll take 4 days for it to ferment, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You're taking your other probiotic capsules as well?
No, that I'm not taking anymore.
Okay.
No. So do you think I should?
Well, I mean, if you're traveling, then obviously it's a good idea to take the capsules because it keeps your digestion working when you're away as well. You don't know what kind of food you're going to get offered. You don't know what you're going to have, and it's the least you can do is to keep those up. That would be a suggestion. And then, you know, while you're at home, you can still make some more sauerkraut and you can still eat what you've got, and you can prepare some for when you come back, so that you get into the habit that it's always there and it's always available. Therefore, you will always be putting some on your plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that it needs just a bit of a routine to have it always ready.
Yeah, I think you've already said that you're getting into a much better routine. You're planning things much better. And you're thinking in a slightly different way. You've only got yourself to think about for those kind of things. So you're doing yourself a big favour.
Yeah. No, I think we are good for tonight.
Thank you very much for your email. I did reply.
Yeah, I found the answer. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. If you have any other questions, and we still have a separate one-to-one coaching that was in this program as well. So when you're ready, we can do that. It's not a recorded one or anything like that. It's a one-to-one. Whatever's coming up for you, then we can do. I call it a sprint lead. So we can deal with that. Whatever the most troubling thing for you is at the time, or the thing that you're having most difficulty with, then we can deal with that. And I think you've already mentioned it in some of your emails as well. So you can have a couple of emails, and then you can just hone in on what you want to concentrate on.
Okay. But you will be in peace, because now I will be traveling for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, you have a good travel, and I hope it works out for you, and it works out well for you. You're going to America, aren't you?
Yes, but first next week I'm going to Paris, then Venice, and then to US.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Everything in one room.
You're a globetrotter. All right, but just take care of yourself and look after yourself and put yourself first. You know, still put things in there that you really need, that you really want.
Yeah.
As much as you
can. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I shall speak to you probably in about 2 weeks.
Yep. Okay. Good night.
Good night, Anne.